Okay, okay. What up? What up? What up, everyone? This is our first TGIF on YouTube live streaming. So welcome if you guys are new to the page. But we're gonna be looking at some assets today. Everything that you'd possibly need when it comes to looking at a weekly outlook. So we're gonna go through a few different assets that people generally really like, and we're gonna break them down. We had a crazy week this week, so I'm really excited to break this all down and get everyone having a good analysis before the next trading week. So if you guys are popping in, what up, what up, what up? We got the squad, we got the champ squad. So I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna get this thing started, okay guys? All right. Everything's good. All right. Do me a favor and just drop a message down in the chat. Drop a one, guys, if you can hear me loud and clear. Can you guys see me? You guys can see me? Yo, this is the YouTube streaming problems, huh? That's crazy. All right, cool. So let's take a look at some different assets. Um, let's take a look. First of all, we got to talk about gold and silver today. Gold and silver, we had a 26% drop in silver today. This is the daily chart, by the way. And we have gold that moved to 9%, 9% drop, which was again ridiculous. And you have commodities moving like meme coins right now. So when you have a situation like this, you got to really think, well, was it an accident or was it intentional? And we know, guys, for those of you guys that have been, obviously in the community that we have, you guys know that news events that happen like this are never usually unintentional. So if we take a look, there's a lot of stories here. 5 standard deviation move in silver. This happens. This should happen less than once every 1,000 years, right? So a multi sigma move, if you guys are familiar, is actually something that if you guys are familiar with sigma, here, let me show you guys. Let me get this thing. So sigma definition in trading is something that actually it's kind of like a magnitude thing. So it's a standard deviation essentially, which is what we learned, right? Standard deviation. So a standard deviation of, in this case, of 1 would equal, technically some people would call it like a sigma 1, right? As far as what it goes to exactly, sigma men, yeah. Sigma men. So today was a sigma day for sure. And I'll show you guys what I mean by this. So if you guys take a look at this tab, can you guys see this? We're testing out the screen sharing. I don't know how fluid it is, but drop a 1, drop a 2 if you guys can see it. Actually, not a 1, drop a 2. I don't see any 2s. You guys with me still? Okay, cool. Maybe a little bit of stream delay. But yeah, sigma in trading represents standard deviation, statistical measure of a financial instrument's price volatility, indicating how far a price deviates from its mean average, right? So higher sigma values represent higher volatility, while lower values suggest a quieter market. So we can even check what was the sigma of silver today. The spot price of silver significantly dropped. January 30th, 25 to 26%. This is a look at this. 5 standard deviation move in silver that should happen less than once every 1,000 years, right? So that's what that says. So something crazy, right? This is insane. This is really, really, really insane. This is stuff that we would honestly not really expect to see quite often. And so when you see it in the market, you definitely have to pay attention to it. Okay. As far as why it happened, I know that China and a lot of countries have been, obviously, with their, not like, they don't have high trust in the US dollar, right? And so everyone's going to back the commodities. Everyone's investing in the commodities. That's what's caused this price move so high. But if we look at the chart explanation of what happened, if I show you guys what's happening over here, then we have this interesting scenario on silver, which is this weekly imbalance getting filled, right? That's huge. This weekly imbalance got filled fully. This is the weekly imbalance that we have, okay? If we go to gold, on the other hand, and we'll do our actual analysis on this, right? And we'll see how things played out for all of our outlooks this week. So you can see these long wicks, right? These long wicks on this candle here. I can see on your end what you guys see. It's sort of like faded. I don't know why this wick is faded. A really weird thing. But you can see that we have a weekly fair value gap that just formed. And not only one, but we have two. So this puts us in a weird situation for gold, especially because there is still room for price to actually tank even more. And that would be crazy. That would actually be insane. That would be a weekly bearish fair value gap, right? So if we go into this is a daily over here. I don't know why I put this as red. Let's go back to bullish. And then we got this over here, and this is bullish. So we got weekly imbalances, okay? We got weekly imbalances resting below, our current price. And so naturally, what does that become a target for? That becomes a massive target for the next couple of days, if not a couple of weeks, right? But I don't think it'll take a couple of weeks. Then we look at the daily chart overall for here, and we filled this imbalance, filled this imbalance, we filled this imbalance, we filled this fair value gap, and there's a fair value gap overlapping here with these weeklies. So can price go lower? It can. I don't think that we're necessarily done. I think we may want to go a little bit deeper before climbing back up. I don't think there's anything else that we would need to really, take out. But let's just take a look at this thing over here on the monthly chart, guys. Monthly chart has a crazy monthly fair value gap here. If we went down here, that would be the shock of the century. I cannot lie. Let's mark it up. Let's mark it up. Right, monthly FEG, massive. I don't think we're gonna hit it, and I think if we did, I mean, that'd be great. That'd be great for repricing and buying, But we know with strong bullish moves, it has to correct at some point, and I've been wanting a correction for so long, so I'm actually quite happy with how we retraced. Because if we get into these weeklies, now I'm looking great to start longing this, and then of course we move on and trade as we normally do, and then see if the monthly can bring us any volume, right? If we can get any volume into the monthly. If not, we just continue and take longs from the weeklies and just continue to target now external range liquidity, which is our January 29th candle, right? So that's what gold looks like. Okay, let me just actually mark it up on my end. On the futures version, you can see the futures version looks a little bit different. Actually, I don't even want to say like a little bit different. It's completely different. So we hit a different imbalance. We closed with less of a pin bar. So this is my daily that I see here. And then on the weekly time frame, we have this weekly fair value gap here. We do. It's just a lot smaller. But the main imbalance I'm looking at is the one below. Okay. So this is the weekly. Can't forget about this one. It's very tiny. And then we have this. Oops. We got this one over here. We got a weekly in here. Okay. So we're gonna take a look to see what's happened in the markets. As you guys know, we have a really high accuracy rate with these biases. Like 95% is pretty much what we have done. Even for those of you guys that see the outlooks, do you guys see the outlook today? In the last couple of days, I've been calling out like what's gonna happen in the market in the session. I think that's really helpful to actually get a walkthrough. I hope you guys are using it to your advantage because those outlooks are great, especially going to frame your own trades. Some of you guys might like those even more than signals because signals, sure it's the execution, but the actual, logic is explained in the Outlook channel. Okay, so make sure you guys check that out. Okay, so previous day high, previous day low, previous week high, previous week low. I think we're just gonna get a sweep of previous week low into these, into this last weekly over here, and then we, could go long. So that'd be nice. Over here, I'm not sure what I marked. That might have been a volume imbalance or something. And then this daily got filled, so I'm not worried about this anymore. Right? We clean up every week. And in this weekly time frame, we have sorry, this was the weekly I should have been looking at over here. This is the other one. That weekly. Wait, hold on. I'm definitely tripping. There we go. All right, cool. So what's my narrative then? My narrative, high time frame is still bullish, but with this massive crash, we can expect price to take out more liquidity inside of either of the weekly fair value gaps. Okay. So let's see how this updates. There we go. So price to take out more liquidity inside of either of the weekly fair value gaps. We have a weekly order block 2. We have a weekly bullish order block, right? So we got a OB positive. So that's nice. All right. So that's personally what I think is going to happen for gold moving forward. And then on the monthly time frame, of course, we have this big monthly. So I'm going to mark this out again. But it's nowhere near where we're at now. But again, we saw what happened with silver. We saw what happened to gold today. So I don't think anything is too far beyond reach. So I'll bring this over here. Cool. 4-hour time frame. What does that look like? Just a lot of noise, right? This is where high time frame really helps because if you guys are trying to formulate your bias, you see that the lower time frame, even though 4 hours is not a low time frame, but with how gold's been moving, for the 4-hour might as well be the 5-minute because this thing is moving so aggressively, so fast. Asia session is pumping it like an insane amount. This is not a regular asset anymore. This is moving at insane velocity. So when I look at markets like this, I want to stay on the higher time frame to actually look to see where I think it's going to go because I know for a fact if I stick to lower time frame, mid time frame, in this case even the hourlies and the 4 hours, it's going to look like a 5-minute chart. So I want nice and clean pictures of what the market is telling me. So before I go into the market, I know exactly the flow of what's going to happen in the coming week. The more you can filter out the emotions and the more you can filter out like all the noise when it comes to trading, the better of a trader you'll be and the easier you're going to be able to predict the narrative. And if you have the narrative and the bias in place, then taking trades that line up with that, it's going to be so much easier and a lot more profitable for you. Okay? Your alarm made me feel like I was late for work. Oh, you guys heard that? That's crazy. Yeah, so what I said about gold right now is moving with a lot of velocity and it's moving in such a way that high time frame is operating very fast. It's not moving like a regular asset at all, and you have to understand that trading conditions will be really really affected by that because if you look at, let's say, the 15-minute time frame, a 15-minute candle you know is like, are you kidding? Is that 1,000 pips? Like, guys, this is not okay, right? Because an increase of 10 is 100 pips. Is you telling me that one 15-minute candle is 1,000? You guys see that? That is not normal, right? It's not normal at all. So you definitely want to make sure that you're, you know, you're locked in, you're taking the right trades, you're not taking dumb trades, you're not forcing trades. You know, couple days ago, right? We had a bearish PO3, New York tanked, set up a nice imbalance here for price, went down again. So this is ridiculous. Okay. I don't want to spend too much time on gold though, because as much as it's interesting right now, I'm not really, you know, like $600, 6,000 pips, guys. 6,000 pips we moved on CFD's gold, 4,924 in the last 24 hours. Okay. This is unheard of. This is a historic TGIF because we've never seen gold move like this. All right. Well, now let's go to the Nasdaq. Okay. Let's go to the Nasdaq. As you guys might have heard, I made a call out in the Outlooks channel for a potential long trade, and that was, let's go to the hourly time frame. It was based off the hourly time frame. We had a sweep of liquidity BPR after a 4 hour fill and a massive liquidity sweep here. So to me, I was very bullish on that. Once we started wicking out like this, so I was in the trade, right? I was in the trade. You guys saw how high the trade went. I was in the trade. It was something like this because I was basing it off a lower time frame stop. And then I was targeting this high. And once I saw, I went to like a decent amount of the take profit. I closed a partial, and I didn't move my stop loss to break even. I moved it to about 50%, right? So like something like this. Once I saw these wicks and we went into like near break even, I knew immediately. I'm like, yeah, this is too much of a bearish sign. When you're wicking all this liquidity, I'm out. And I told you guys I'm gonna stay out of the market because even if price moves higher, trading conditions like these is very unfavorable. And so you guys got that look, into my brain directly as the market was happening. I think I really like that format for a lot of these outlooks a lot more. So price got destroyed, price got taken out, and that's where instinct can be really favorable for you if you have experience in the markets. And that's where I say, like, I don't normally close out of trades when I'm in the trade. It's almost like never, but there are some signs that point me toward like 4 hourly candles wicking into, you know, imbalances. It's not a good sign for you, right? If they're rejecting it, forming dojis, you know what dojis mean, right? They're signs of reversal. So when we see that in long wicks and pin bars, then we want to be out of the market. Okay. Took my first future trade on that one today. Manually closed a 1-to-1 because I didn't know how to set a stop loss. Yeah. Um, yeah, you don't set a stop loss on futures, you sell back. So a sell limit. Exactly. It's a sell limit. So you buy, sell limit, and sell stop for your stop loss, right? So sell stop is your stop loss, sell limit is your take profit, and then your entry is your entry. Okay. But yeah, it's not easy when you transition because it's a little bit different for sure. So my overall bias, what's my overall bias for NQ or Nasdaq? Well, we hit this daily bearish after sweeping a high time frame liquidity. So when I saw respect of this daily, I saw a massive pin bar yesterday. You guys see this massive pin bar yesterday that just like literally took out all these imbalances and whatever liquidity was here on smaller time frame. Respect the daily. I'm like, we're definitely going higher after this. PO3 agreed with it too, but we didn't, get it. We did catch an entry. We saved our ass, and we didn't, stop out. We got out of the market right before this bearish move happened. So when I see stuff like this, again, it can be like, oh, okay, well, what's gonna happen? And so we have a tricky situation here, but we got to do a little bit of research. Okay, so let's do the research. Let's mark up previous week highs and lows, our major liquidity areas, right? That's why we do that. So this is here. Is this Monday? This is Monday. So this must be here. All right. Well, delete all the extra noise that we don't need anymore. This 4 hour got destroyed. This daily got destroyed. We don't need it. All right. Whatever this is, we don't need it. Sell side liquidity here is important. We broke structure to the upside. Indeed, we did. Right. The swing high got taken out. So we have a liquidity sweep, a break of structure. Is there a fair value gap here? No, there isn't. So it makes things a little bit tricky. Okay. What if we go to higher time frame? Well, the weekly chart is disgusting. We don't have really anything going on right now. Nasdaq is moving sideways, and That's just the situation right now. So we go to the 4 hour. Okay, well, what do we have in the 4 hour? Do we have any imbalances? We have one. We have one imbalance that's right here. Okay. And this imbalance got disrespected. So it becomes what? Inversion for value gap. We see bearish imbalances getting respected, right? Bearish imbalances getting respected, which is this 4 hour FEG. And we see a bullish imbalance get disrespected. So this is a sign of what, guys? What's the sign? What do we know from what we've learned so far? If we see bullish imbalances getting disrespected and bearish imbalances getting respected, what does our chart look like? Bearish movement, right? Most likely bearish movement. So getting bearish movement, we fill this 4 hour imbalance, right? This 4 hour bullish IFEG is now formed. And so if let's say on the hourly time frame we get, something, then we can trade to take out some lower liquidity. But if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I'm not really liking how this is looking at all. So my bias, we're consolidating. We're in a ranging market and price has no clear signs of liquidity in between ERLs, so external range liquidity. I'll wait for a big run, a big obvious run towards something before executing. I'm leaning bullish still overall, but if we keep respecting bearish imbalances, it's likely we'll keep hunting sell side liquidity. So what that means in English, for those that don't know, I'm not sure, and I'm not doing anything until I'm certain. Okay. So this right here, there's this liquidity and this liquidity resting down below, right? So we got this and we got this. That's my honest answer. Because on the weekly, it's a whole lot of nothing. On the monthly, it's a whole lot of nothing, right? The last 2 months were bearish, technically. So we could be preparing for a massive bear run, but we're very close to all-time highs. So, if we take out the liquidity, I have no idea, but we'll find out. So I wouldn't trade NASDAQ on Monday. I think that'd be a really bad idea. So let's go to, we got gold and NASDAQ in the bag. Let's take a look at oil. And oil took out some highs. So guys, our callouts, right? Our callouts have been great for oil. We were bullish from the bottom here as soon as we, hit this imbalance. And looks like we're just going to take out liquidity, more and more liquidity. We have a nice daily imbalance here. If we get in here, I'll probably look to long. You know what I mean? I actually may participate in this market now. I know it seems like it's overdone because we had a big move, but now there's more certainty in the market. And certainty is a good measure of it's a good measure of where you should be trading. The problem is people don't know where to trade it. So if you're new to trading or you have some experience in trading and you're like, yeah, well, I've heard that trading Actually, no, you probably haven't heard it. Like people say trade with trend, right? But smart money, which is what we focus on, is all focused on we want to be trading what people don't want to trade or aren't talking about because what people are talking about is usually cooked. Like if you're trading in the direction of everybody else, you're usually cooked because if you trade in the direction of the masses, you will likely lose because institutions will not have that. So if I if I'm looking for trades, right, I'm not going to buy up here, right? I'm going to wait for a retracement. At that retracement area, I'm going to look to long, but I'm going to look for my key signs like liquidity, like fair value gaps, like order blocks, like premiums and discounts, SMTs, or you know BPRs, whatever it is that I have to look at. I'm going to be looking at stuff. Okay. When are we full porting? When are we full porting? Let's see if we can find an asset. Let's see if we, see if we can find it. I want to honestly like I want to look for really good assets because this whole thing has been sort of dog shit to be honest. Going into next week, I can't lie. I usually will give one full porting asset a week, but I don't know if we're gonna get one this week. I don't have permission to make full port jokes. Yeah, Omar's cooked. Just between me and him. Who's JYT? Is that Jaden? I have a feeling it's Jaden. If not, I have no idea. Okay. So that's oil. All right. We got our analysis on oil. Full port the corn market. Yep. That could be a vibe. Coffee. Anyone trading coffee futures? Let's take a look at Bitcoin. I've been wanting to see Bitcoin. So massive SMT that we had ultimately meant nothing. Right. We took our buy trade here and it was great. we're just waiting to see what happens, right? Bullish overall. This is one of the call outs. I know it's hard to believe, guys, but I was wrong. I was wrong about this one. L's in the chat. L's in the chat. Monthly imbalances. We have one. We're still inside of a monthly imbalance. We still have we still have a big monthly. We're still sitting inside of that. So this weekly, I think is officially. Can we officially mark it out? Yeah, it's Gonzo. Gonzo. I'm gonna delete my trade here. Don't need it anymore. This weekly imbalance got respected. We wanted to invert it, but that's not the case. This SMT, sort of irrelevant. This was, I think, a daily liquidity sweep, irrelevant. This is a break of structure now, irrelevant. So we're cleaning up charts quite a lot. If we go back to the daily time frame, though, we mark out our previous day low and previous day high. I don't even know why I still do this for this asset, though. It's pretty useless. But still gives you a good measure of the overall market, so might as well. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays is the high of the week. Previous week high. And then this is previous week low as well. There we go. Previous week low. There we go. All right. We have massive liquidity sweeps here. This is where we get like the biggest sign because we have this resting liquidity from Friday, November 21st. And it's still alive here. If we sweep it on one and don't on the other, then that's an SMT. So we'll keep an eye on Bitcoin. I'd say if we take out sell side and we get a good reaction bullish, then we're going to continue to go bullish. But overall, yeah, we're still in a high time frame monthly. That hasn't been disrespected yet. This monthly imbalance got disrespected, but this one is still staying alive. So it is possible that we could take out this low over here inside of it and trend higher. So we're gonna fix this up a bit, okay? That monthly, oh my gosh, guys, look at this though. Okay, that actually just gave me confirmation of something. So you know what? If you want a full port shorts on Bitcoin, we just filled pretty much efficiently filled a monthly fair value gap with oh shit. Guys, everything on the line. I just found it. This is why checking all time frames is important because I was not sure. I was not sure. Who knows what this is? What did we just tap into? We tapped into a monthly BPR, right? Monthly inversion fair value gap overlapping with a monthly fair value gap. We got a BPR. So this is where you put everything on the line because our next draw on liquidity is this one, 74,000. Okay. Now that I've seen this, this is all I need to see. This is it. Okay. So I can delete this noise. All right. Okay. Okay. So this is what we're looking like right now. That's insane. All right. So really, really good bearish bias here. And you guys heard it here, right? Whoever's on YouTube, you guys get this for free, but the day by day breakdowns come in our community. So if you guys want to learn about how to get inside the community, check the description. I don't know if it's in the description now, or you can check it now, or you can check it after the stream. Yeah, we go crazy inside of this community, to be honest. We actually go crazy. I don't know how you can like you literally cannot be unprofitable trading with us and the squad here. So just saying, Bitcoin bearish overall. We're gonna stick to our guns. This is what I think is happening. Okay, so if we go down to the daily chart, we see a daily break of structure, and we see a daily fair value gap that just formed. So that's pretty solid. I can't lie. Okay, that is pretty solid. Bearish imbalance. And we still have this liquidity resting here, so I'm very open to us filling this imbalance, hitting the order block, and then taking a trade down into here and going here. That could be our trade setup. Okay, so we have a decent setup. If I find this trade meets all the requirements, then we take a trade down into the liquidity down below, and that's a Bitcoin trade for 2026. Okay, I think we already had one in 2026, and it was insane. So yeah, I sold my car full port on Bitcoin. See you soon in Dubai. Good stuff, bro. Couldn't have made a better decision, to be honest. Amazing. W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Yeah, so this is our bias, okay? Looking good. So we got gold in our pocket, we got Nasdaq, we got oil, we got Bitcoin. We have a W war happening right now. Love it. So that's 4 assets. I want you guys to let me know which other 2 assets you want to check out. I know there's a bit of a stream delay. That's just a streaming thing apparently. So as soon as you guys There's a chat for youth. All the people born after 02 are in that chat. If you're born after 2002, please go to the children's chat. Even if you're after 05, if you're after 05, then you go into the like newborn trader. You guys just became legal to like trade on a broker. So 2002, I'm still in. Yeah, sure. You just made the cut, bro. 60K Bitcoin though. 60K Bitcoin. I don't know about 60K. I believe at the minimum though 74, which is the lowest that we've seen in a while. If we get more breaks down below, I mean that is a possibility. What chat does Daniel go? Unk chat. Unk chat. Yeah. Yo, Ashton came in out of nowhere, bro. Yo, Ashton, what's up? Ashton came in out of nowhere in typical. This is giving me Forex Couture vibes when you just come in with the memes. What are you doing? You want to be on the stream? You want to be famous? Look at you. This cat was biting my shit, so she gets exposed. Don't trust orange cats. Anything mixed with orange is crazy. All right, let's go to EU. We got a request. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. This, I don't know if we called this out last week or 2 weeks ago, but damn, look at that. Massive. Right now we're just correcting, and I think we're just gonna go inside of this imbalance here. So we're gonna target this. Correcting to the daily, expecting price to continue higher and target the new liquidity that's been formed. Okay. So this is our target. That doesn't mean sell into this. Okay. When you're bullish and bias and narrative, like when your narrative is that strong, don't worry about like trading into imbalances. Just be patient, wait for price to hit those imbalances, and then trade the reaction off of them. Okay. Do not jump the gun too fast. Okay. Yes, this is high resistance liquidity, which we don't like, but so is this. Okay, so we're traveling inside of two high resistance liquidity areas. And if you look overall, we have these low resistance liquidity areas that look great. Okay, so this monthly imbalance, if we can, I don't know about, so that monthly imbalance, if we disrespect it, would be good. But I don't actually think we're going to because of this rejection, right? So maybe let's put a pause in this for now. But I still think we're going to be bullish. But that monthly imbalance is our only threat currently. We're sitting really pretty up here, and if we disrespected that, then I'd say we're taking out this liquidity. But with the monthly being respected like that, then you expect price to. You'd expect.
What's your attention?
You'd expect. Does she want to come? Does she want to come here? Then yeah. So monthly FEG being respected like this is a bad sign for a bullish run. I still have some hope that this is bullish, especially with, I don't know, I'd have to look into some fundamentals with the euro and see if there's anything good there. But if you guys know interest rate differentials from the video that's in the elite accelerator and the accelerator, then you can take a look at that. We do have a monthly imbalance here. This break is structure, so potential retracement. I don't know, maybe. And if that's the case, it would be the biggest bearish run that we've seen in like a long time. So in years actually. So there is potential there. But that's what I'm saying. You don't need to be like, you don't need to worry about what's gonna happen months from now or weeks from now. You just gotta know what's gonna happen this week. If you know what's gonna happen this week, then you're good. Christian, any advice for newbies in the space? I know this all must be overwhelming at first. Yeah. So if everything that I'm saying to you right now makes absolutely no sense, it's because you need the fundamentals first. There was a point where I was like getting into trading and I did not know anything, and it honestly turned me off from trading when I hear people speak super like advanced and all that. Because I'm like, where's the people that like actually are gonna go over the basics? So for my people in the academy, I don't know if there's anyone here that's not in the academy. I'm assuming like this week it's gonna be like that, but which I love, by the way. But you guys have education, you guys have resources and tools inside of the academy. We built everything to be super beginner friendly. We have a Thursday call now, which is called Ground Zero, which is an amazing call hosted by one of our traders, right? Kojo Trades, aka Daniel. So that's a amazing call for beginners. My biggest thing though is understand the basic market structure first. Understand what these candles mean. You know what the opposing color candles means. What are wicks? You know, how can we get reactions from the market from these wicks? How to take a trade is one of the last things you need to learn, because you shouldn't even be trading if you don't know how to actually look at a market and understand it. Look at the markets, looking at the markets, understanding them is the first step to actually building any sort of foundation that brings you to, profitability. So definitely go take a look at the charts, take a look at the videos, get a vibe of what the, behavior is of the assets that you're looking at. But you'll notice that once you get it down and you really understand it, it's like training your eyes. It is like any other skill. You have to train yourself first and actually recognize things before you can actually go out in the real game and play, right? And then expect to do well. You have to recognize things. Your eyes will be trained. For those of you guys that have faster eyes now, you know, um, when it comes to identifying certain things in trading, you know, even with the developed eyes, sometimes you can miss stuff. Like, look, I missed this, right? Inversion fair value gap, right? Overlapped with this monthly. So we got a monthly inversion. So that would definitely lean us towards being bearish, right? So we're still gonna see how this, what plays out. If price closes below swing lows, we'll flip bias to target the massive monthly BPR. Okay. But again, uncertainty in the market. So as much as I say this, we're not 100% sure yet because of where we're at. The only thing that I am pretty sure of is Bitcoin. You have to again wait to see how the days play out. So this coming week is not going to be the easiest, if I'm being honest, for actually knowing where price is going to go. Because I'd say we need a couple deciding, like really decisive days to know what's going to happen. Okay. Just letting that be known. Well, I missed a lot. Unk chat. I mean, YouTube, I sent that, then lost the chat and panicked. I feel old. Evil gingers. Where did that come from? I go in the millennials chat, aka the goat chat. Christian, oh yeah, I saw that. Okay. EU and USD CAD. If your age is higher than the calendar, GG's. Monthly order block below.
What do you mean higher than the calendar?
I don't know who's 2027 years old, but I mean, yeah, you're definitely unk. You're definitely unk. Yes, Steph. I'll definitely be studying the terminology. Yeah, trust me, go for it. We have a handbook inside the academy with all the main terms. Who's Jay? Is that Jay Miles? Oh my gosh, it's probably, if it's not Jaden, it's Jamars. It's definitely Jamars, right?
It sounds like Jamars.
It definitely sounds like Jamars.
He should change his profile picture to him being zesty.
Megan said you gotta change your profile picture to you being zesty, bro.
Hold the zesty Mexican.
She said, "Hold the zesty Mexican from impact." That's what she said. Not her words, not mine. Okay. Yeah, we'll go for Miles Morales. I was just on a call with Jamars, and he told me that Remco calls him that, and I completely forgot. Like I'm like, it subconsciously went into my brain, and I called him Miles Morales. Your USD done. All right. Now we got one more. I heard a request for USD CAD. Let's take a look at UCAD. Now that we respected the BPR, we'll continue bearish. Lots of liquidity to take below. And what happened? We went bearish. Yeah, it was GG's. GG's. Weekly BPR, beautiful. Absolutely world class over here. Okay. So this liquidity got taken out. This liquidity got taken out. Boom. This liquidity got taken out. You know what I want to see, guys, to be honest? You see this? Do you see what I see? I'm gonna delete all these tiny fair value gaps. They don't mean anything anymore, to be honest. And by the way, for those of you that aren't like well versed in trading yet, it is like a language. You will learn it, and it's actually easier than like any language, to be honest. So what we're doing is pretty much looking at two main things. Every chart, there's two main things we look at. One is called liquidity, which liquidity, if you're wondering what it is essentially where there's accumulation of orders. So imagine everyone buying and selling at the same time, right? The areas where we see the most buys or the most sells, the most orders in general are these areas called swing highs. You'll learn about that in the education, right? Swing highs and swing lows, and they're beautiful. You look for that. You look for imbalances, which are fair value gaps. They're gaps in between the market where there's a huge discrepancy between buyers and sellers. What that means is, in this case, we have this bullish fair value gap where the bulls were winning, right? Our bulls, if you guys are a fan of, the animal, they won over there. And if you're a fan of bears, maybe if you're Canadian, right, or Russian, then, you got some bears winning over here. And so that's what we got. This is important to look at. Why? Because we had a week that was undeniably bearish. Okay. Like undeniably. And we have this previous week high sitting on top of this weekly fair value gap. And absolutely stunning BPR, right? This one is what I'm looking at. It couldn't be more perfect. Daniel's right. It is literally like stunning. It's beautiful. So that's what we have. And on the daily chart, right, previous day highs over here, previous day lows over here. So what do I think is going to happen for the market this week? I think that's a huge draw on liquidity. So I think price is going to want to go up to that area. Okay. I think price is going to want to go up over there. Does that mean I'm trading? Does that mean I'm trading bullish? Guys, what does that mean? Am I trading bullish? If I see PO3, maybe. But overall, I'm going to wait till this BPR happens, right? Or we hit this BPR. If we hit this BPR, guess what I'm doing? I'm full porting my entire life savings and Megan and the cats to win her back and, do whatever we got to do. This may be my last call, by the way, guys. I said I'm going to sell you.
Why?
Because I need a full port shorts from the USD CAD.
Why do you need $8 billion?
I'll stick to what's that new gambling app that people are using? What is it called?
Polymart.
Polymart?
Remco just sent it to me.
Polymart. Yeah. I realized it was during London, but I didn't mark it because I thought it was not too far away. UCAD has truly won the legendary mid-off against UJ.
Kick Remco off.
Oh, Remco.
Get him off the chat.
Remco. Everyone say, all right, drop a rip in the chat for Remco because this is his last day here. He had a great one call on WFX. He had a great one call. That was sketchy fast how Megan named that. It's because Remco just shared it. Fired for the 5th time. Damn it. Damn it, Remco. You were so young. All right. So yeah, this is what we have. Okay. This is what we have. We have a weekly BPR with a weekly break of structure to the downside and daily liquidity sweep. I wouldn't say it's a weekly liquidity sweep. I guess there's one here. Yeah, we technically took out weekly liquidity. But yeah, we'll take a continued look at this. Okay. I think that we're gonna go bullish, then head into this, and then start selling off in the next weeks because we have a lot of low resistance liquidity down here. Remember, I told you guys sell stop mania for USD CAD. I wasn't playing. It's sell stop mania. We're taking out a bunch of sell stops next couple of weeks. So if you're gonna trade, Jamars is right. USD CAD won the legendary mid off because USD JPY isn't looking the worst, to be honest. It's pretty good, but it's just not. It's not giving, you know. It's not giving. Please have mercy. This is the weekly, weekly liquidity sweep is really big over here. You know what though? We didn't get a break of structure, but this is a massive weekly imbalance. And a gap and a volume imbalance. We're glitching. We're all sorts of glitching right now in the market for USD JPY. So there's a huge massive daily and a massive liquidity sweep. So if you're trading UJ, we did break structure to the downside on the daily chart. That may be enough for you if you want to start selling this. On the weekly, though, we did not break structure yet, okay? So just letting you know, something to be mindful of. Let's look at Euro USD for 1 second because these highs from January 14th, January 23rd, if we get the lows, that sweep of the same area, January, what is it, January 13th and January, oh, I don't think it's the same. January 16th, sorry, I'm so wrong. January 9th, what the heck am I looking at? What chart? Yo, I'm tripping. What chart was I on? Oh, is it this one? Here. No, this one. So, oh my gosh, I'm looking at UJ, right? Why am I so fried right now? Okay, UJ. Okay, so this is January 14th to January 23rd on UJ. Let's compare that with the DXY. Yeah, 14th to 23rd. The dollar, January 14th to 23rd. Honestly, it's not even really giving an SMT. It's like just sort of whack. So yeah, we'll figure this out. We'll see what happens with UJ over here. It could take out this lower resistance liquidity, but I'd say it's too early to tell. If we respect this daily, short this shit. Okay, that's what we're gonna say. What's going on? Jamars, you were hired. Send the BTC address. Double $6, double what you're worth is crazy. Of course, Jamar's quick to his rescue. Rip. Y'all are just chatting shit in this chat, huh? Actually, I miss Remco. You're fired, Jamars. Reno, you're hired again. Is there a probationary period? Yeah, yo, I'm locking in with this bias. You guys are going crazy. I dreamed of having men work for me. Oh, it's because she values women too much. She doesn't want women to work. That's why. That's why Michelle. That's why she said that, Michelle. Have you got a fish tank? No, we just have someone taking a leak in the background. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
They're still going. I don't know why. Is it that loud though? Is this mic not like miking right now? What's going on? You can hear that is crazy. You should not be hearing that. This mic is definitely not working properly. Can I edit something? If I edit this, will it end the stream? I guess we'll find out. Actually, you know what? Let me not risk it. So Okay. This is what I have for USD JPY. This is what I have for Euro, right? Euro, I'm looking to. Oh, did I not write anything? Here we go. Hit this daily FEG, and potentially push. Actually, I did. There we go. I'm gonna make this smaller though. There we go. I knew I wasn't going crazy. Nice. All right. So we got this for Euro, right? If we can respect this, we look good. But if price closes below swing lows or takes out this daily and turns into an inversion, then we have like a BPR situation. Then we go bearish. Okay. Gold is going to be interesting. I expect to see it go a bit lower. Okay. So we have for our MGC call out and for MNQ, which is our NASDAQ, looking extremely not good. So yeah, we're gonna be patient next week. I may not trade as much, but I may send out some signals on Forex and potentially Bitcoin. We'll have to wait to see what indices does, but yeah, we'll go from there. What about DAX?
Valentino trades DAX.
Yo, DAX is so DAX I used to love. I don't even trade it anymore. Am I bad for doing that? My bad. DAX futures. Remco, which is the right one for futures, the real market data? Because I know it's not CME, CBOT, because this is not North American. Which one is it? Euro X? Okay. What's ESG? Is it the smaller one? All right, let's try it out. This is delayed data. Oh, I don't pay for the European futures. Is that a separate one? Oops, my bad. We'll just have to look at regular DAX. DAX index. Okay. Screw it. Let's go here. Okay. Where are you? Didn't even want to get added. That's crazy. There we go. Oh my. Yeah, this is done. I'm not doing this. How about this? Quick glance at DAX. The Instagram version came through. Oh. Ooh. If you're not buying, you'll certainly be dying. Sorry, I keep turning around, guys. My cats are crashing out. There we go. Christian, not European enough? Actually, half of me is, but I guess that doesn't count. When I move to Spain, because we're probably gonna buy a home in Spain, then I'll buy DAX. Because I made a lot of money trading DAX when I went to Spain, actually. Okay, so sell side liquidity on the weekly time frame, weekly breaker structure to the upside, weekly fair value gap got respected, and this one looks like it's getting respected. If we get a bullish push here, guys, you guys can trade DAX. If you guys are about that life, you definitely can. With this, what I would do is I would wait for this bearish imbalance to get inverted. And if it gets inverted, then we look good to long. Okay. So we have this sell side liquidity sweep inside of the weekly, or just outside of the weekly. And we have this daily bearish for value gap, which I'd like to invert. Okay. I didn't know this was that kind of stream. Jamar's is going crazy right now. Yeah, so we got a liquidity sweep to the on sell side. this daily, if this daily gets inverted and we tap into it, boom, done. So we going bullish. Okay. So if you guys want to trade it, I definitely look at that. I don't know if we have any London traders. Um, maybe we do. I don't know. Maybe there's one in the Netherlands. I have no idea. But if they find good opportunities in the in the market this week, I think it's definitely a good opportunity. Look out for oil signals. Yeah, that's crazy. Shouldn't trade oil. Hold on, sorry guys, my Toronto man came out. Did he? Oh yeah. Let me not say that again, or else I don't know what YouTube's regulations are, but we've been an hour on this call and they haven't kicked me out yet, so I think we're Gucci. But that's it. Don't know anyone from the Dutch line. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the stream today. We just broke down a lot more assets than I thought we would. We're gonna do this, I think, every single week, as usual, guys. Um, you know, feel free to like and subscribe. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Let me plug the description down below if you guys want to sign up. No, I'm kidding. You guys are already in the community. But this is going to be a cool spot. We're going to do these sessions every week. I will be uploading some content as well. If you guys want to like a deeper look at some of the stuff that we do. But yeah, aside from that, everything else in the academy, study it, go through it. You certainly get more than what you pay for. Absolutely. It's a lot of amazing material that will keep you busy. And even in the meantime, if you're getting overwhelmed with trading and you're like, you know what, I don't want to, I'm like stressed out, then you can go to the longevity protocol and figure out how to fix up your health, or you can go to the mindset section and go fix your mindset and grow. You can talk to people in our community because they're all, amazing people. And you could even follow our 90-day trader development plan. So if you guys are in the academy and that's all you're in, go and check out the 90-day trader development plan, because that thing will give you the best possible, breakdown of how your next 90 days should look like. So yeah, run through it. But that's it, guys. Max me out, certainly. DM me after and I'll get you sorted out. Okay. This is going crazy. All right, guys. See you in the next one. And as always, take care and peace.